Hey everybody, it's Maggie from Personal Euphoria with today's plank story. If you hear a loud noise, we're having a tree cut down, so just in case that's disruptive. But if you do not want to do plank today, you're going to do a squat in turnout. So you're going to stand with your legs wide, knees and toes in turnout, stay vertical, and go as low into that squat as you want. So if you go lower, you would open your feet a little bit wider, but if you want to do a deep squat, you'd bring your feet a little closer together. So depending on how low you go, play with how wide your feet go out. And if you don't like the squat, you can always hold a leg up and do little pulses. All right, so for today's plank, I am reading Out of Africa, and I've never seen the movie, and I didn't know the movie was based on a memoir. And I love memoirs and I love Africa, so I'm really enjoying this book. But this weekend I read a section that made me chuckle. So she's the author is European, and she buys and runs a farm in Africa in like the 1930s. And so she's talking about how when a woman in a tribe gets married, the husband or the family of the husband pays for her, and usually most women go for 40 to 50 cows. And what made me laugh is when Matt and I hiked Kilimanjaro, afterwards we did like a safari and a little touring, and we went and saw a Maasai warrior tribe, and the chief offered to buy me from Matt for 100 cows. And he told Matt that that was like a really good offer, and that he'd offer 100 cows for me because I was white. And, and that normally people go for about 50 cows. So I suspect that was like, you know, the saying half in jest, all in earnest. I'm going to say half in earnest, all in jest. That's what I'm going to go with. But also what I noticed is there's like been no inflation in Africa. In 1930, a woman went for 40 to 50 cows, and now she's still 50 cows. Now, one of the things I like about reading a book like this or travel is that it can change your perspective or your thought. So my thought always would have been like, if you're paying for a woman to marry her, it's like she's property. And that would be my concern. And in the book, the woman writing it mentions that that's her take on it too, that women in Africa are a bit property. But she says these native women come and talk to her, and they say to her, is it true we hear like in Europe, men do not pay for their wives, and in fact sometimes the women have a dowry and they pay the men? And she says, yes, that's true. Like, you don't pay for a wife in Europe. And they are like, that's crazy. Why would any woman get married? The man needs to know how valuable you are. And I just thought it's interesting, right? From whatever society we come from, we have like our perspective. And then from this native perspective, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but that the fact that the men pay for them value the price of the woman, basically. So I just chuckled because I guess I would be valued at 100 cows. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day and keep moving.